The competitive Smash World was thrown into chaos Tuesday by an announcement from Smash World Tour that they were allegedly forced to cancel the 2022 finals of their $250,000 tournament circuit. And if you guessed Nintendo was involved, you're right. I'm not giving you bonus points because if you follow Smash, it's pretty obvious, but you are right. And the Smash World is absolutely losing their shit. So let's take a look at what's happened and what the fallout might be. Guys, it's getting colder. It's that time of the year when you need to get cozy. And thankfully, theScore Esports has you covered with our merch line that includes, among some other pretty cool stuff, some really comfortable hoodies. So I'll put the link in the description for you guys so you can check it out. Lots of cool designs. I'm sure there's something that you'll love, and that way you can stay cozy. All right, back to the video. So the Smash World Tour, which is organized by VG Bootcamp, announced Tuesday that they have been forced to cancel their 2022 championships. Players have been earning points at various affiliated tournaments to compete in the finals, which were set for mid-December. Smash World Tour was big, like really big. According to their information, they had over 322,000 entrants across 6,400 affiliated events, but they weren't the only game in town. That's because Panda, the esports organization, managed to snag an official license from Nintendo to operate their own circuit, the Panda Cup, in November 2021. So let's quickly talk about Nintendo. Their track record in Smash isn't exactly great. In 2013, they tried to shut down Melee's EVO appearance, and they've stomped on tournaments that use any modification of the game client whatsoever. And the reason is that Nintendo seems far more interested in defending their intellectual property and remaining a publisher than, becoming an esports operator. Almost all of Nintendo's actions seem to fit this pattern, and honestly, at this point, it's the most obvious explanation. Now, for a community like Smash, this weird relationship is a source of constant frustration. But at the same time, let's not forget that competitive Melee exists because of the dedication and passion of grassroots efforts. So as long as Nintendo didn't come in to shut all of this down, the community felt like it would be pretty easy to just continue on without them.
We ain't had no help from any person. We came here to ourselves, and look at us. We're still having 1,500 people at a damn water park in Wisconsin. Who are we? Come on now.
And for the most part, they've been correct. The Smash community has built something amazing on their own, much like fighting games did before there was anything called the Capcom Cup. The issue, of course, is that if Nintendo did want to shut everything down, it seems like at least legally, they almost certainly have the ability to do that because they hold the rights to the game, and Nintendo could decide to shut down broadcasts of public tournaments. So to summarize, Nintendo has been at best a mostly passive observer to competitive Smash, and at worst, an existential threat to the entire esport. Now, that appeared to change in 2021 when the partnership between Panda and Nintendo was announced, with the Panda Cups tournaments receiving official Nintendo licenses to operate. The Smash World Tour, on the other hand, did not receive a license, at least not immediately, but according to organizers VG Bootcamp, that really wasn't an immediate issue. They said they were asked to attend a meeting in 2021 with Nintendo and feared that it was the death knell for their circuit since it was right after the Panda announcement. But in that meeting, they say they were told that Panda's license wasn't exclusive, so Smash World Tour could continue to operate unofficially while they pursued a licensing application with Nintendo. It was a surprisingly warm reception from Nintendo, especially with everything that had happened in the past. And according to Smash World Tour, Nintendo continued to be receptive, at least in the immediate future. But this is where things get messy, because Smash World Tour says that they tried from December 2021 to March 2022 to formalize things with Nintendo, and they held off on announcing the tour for that reason. But meanwhile, Smash World Tour alleges that Panda's co-founder and CEO, Dr. Alan Bunny, was speaking with tournament organizers and telling them that the World Tour would be canceled in 2022. something that appears to be contradicted by the statement that Nintendo offered. The statement from Smash World Tour says they then went to Nintendo, telling them about this situation, and Nintendo reiterated that the license was not exclusive and that they were concerned by this behavior from Panda's CEO. Nintendo also said that their main concern was IP infringement and that they weren't trying to, quote, gatekeep or trap the community. But Smash World Tour alleges that Bunny continued to go to tournament organizers and tell them that the Smash World Tour would at some point be canceled. And this behavior, they say, made it even harder to attract tournaments to the Smash World Tour. Nintendo and Smash World Tour didn't manage to hammer something out before the start of the 2022 season. And so, according to Smash World Tour, they just announced the tour, they got it started, and were advised to apply for a license for the finals of the 2022 tour. Now, according to Smash World Tour, this is where things get really crazy because they claim that Panda's CEO continued to approach tournament organizers and tell them now that an event could not be part of both the Panda Cup and Smash World Tour, even though Smash World Tour organizers were fine with that arrangement. And again, as Smash World Tour said, this was a non-exclusive license. Even weirder was Panda's alleged demand to have broadcast rights to any tournament that joined the Panda Cup. This is something that became an issue because many of these tournaments that they were approaching had already signed a broadcast deal with Beyond the Summit. While BTS do run their own tournaments, they also do broadcasts for other events. And so tournament organizers would have to back out of that agreement that had been made with BTS, which they weren't willing to do. I mean, especially because BTS has contributed a lot to Smash. Then Bunny supposedly went directly to BTS and they told them not gonna happen. But in April, the Smash World Tour said Panda started to backtrack on this idea that a tournament couldn't be part of both circuits. And in any case, Smash World Tour was still waiting for information about their application for the 2022 finals. The decision on that application never came, and so according to Smash World Tour, they were forced to announce their event in August, and Nintendo apologized to them for dragging their feet and said they'd try to get the conversation restarted. They spoke again in early November, but then, right before Thanksgiving, Nintendo broke the news. Quote, "Our Nintendo rep opened by letting us know that they are being asked to deliver the news that, going forward, Nintendo expects us to only operate with a commercial license, and that we would not be granted one for the upcoming championships or any activity in 2023. We received this in writing as well." Smash World Tour said that, quote, "Initially Nintendo gave us a reason that seemed to be misinformed, and when we pushed back to ask for more details, Nintendo said that they were unable to give any specifics and had to speak in generalities moving forward. At this point, we now felt we had been strung along this entire time." I reached out to Panda for comment on these claims by Smash World Tour, but I didn't hear back in time for publication. That brings us to now. Smash World Tour says that they've been forced to cancel their 2022 finals and that the damage is in the range of hundreds of thousands of dollars because all this stuff was already booked or paid for. Kotaku published an article about it that got a response from Nintendo, and of course, that comment directly contradicts the statement that Smash World Tour received, so it doesn't clear up much. Smash World Tour says that the decision from Nintendo was not up for interpretation. The Smash community is up in arms about this development, and rightfully so, in my opinion. But I do want to say, let's not lash out at the players and employees of Panda because they didn't make these decisions and they're not responsible for them. I just don't think it's constructive to do that. So here's the thing. Has Panda made huge contributions to Smash? Yes, I think they have. Even in this light, I don't think it's fair to minimize those. At the same time, VG Bootcamp has done a lot for Smash, and no one can take a single fucking thing away from Beyond the Summit, who, I mean, they're huge. They're incredibly important to esports and to Smash. Many community members are calling for events and players to boycott the Panda Cup, and Mainstage, a Beyond the Summit tournament, is now reopening registration, with all venue fees going to Smash World Tour. Unlike past Nintendo missteps, the general target of the ire of the Smash community here has been Panda, an org that has tried to make itself a big part of the Smash community, and in my opinion has succeeded, so the vibe is generally one of betrayal. Melee and On Me convened Tuesday night to discuss this issue, and they were pretty worried about the whole thing. But Bobby Scar, the people's champ, live streamed Wednesday to give his take, and it was pretty simple. It was basically, could we go back to the way things were, where events were unlicensed? Yes, but also Nintendo didn't care.
I said, look, Gimmer, if what I think we need to do in 2022, 2023 and beyond is basically, we have our tournaments. If we get the C&D, then we turn the tournament into a protest. We turn the fucking tournament into a protest. What do I mean by that? Everybody still come. I want the stream to be on, and I want to be talking on the stream about the state of the world and how we're trying to come together to play some video games, and corporate America is like telling us that we can't.
It's not hyperbolic to say that if this issue can't be resolved, it could be incredibly damaging to competitive Smash. We don't know for sure that Nintendo wants every tournament to have a license, but it's kind of implied by what they told Smash World Tour. And if that is the case, they've also shown that they're very slow to issue these things. So how is anyone going to hold a tournament? So where do we go from here? Well, there are a few things we don't know. For one, we haven't heard anything from Panda or their CEO, Dr. Alan Bunny, since the initial statement from Smash World Tour, so we don't have their side of the story. It's been radio silence. There's also some confusion about whether Smash World Tour was actually asked to cancel the 2022 finals, as Kotaku got a response from Nintendo that suggested they didn't, but Smash World Tour's account seems pretty ironclad, at least insofar as that detail is concerned. So I'm willing to chalk that up to just being crossed wires internally on the Nintendo side. We also really don't know what Nintendo's reasoning was in that last meeting with Smash World Tour. They said, quote, "After further review, we found that the Smash World Tour has not met these expectations around health and safety guidelines and has not adhered to our internal partner guidelines." The health and safety guidelines part of that is especially confusing. Like, the statement goes on to say that Nintendo expects partners to not announce events before their license, which I kind of get, although it sounds like there was an informal sort of arrangement. But what is the health and safety issue that's being discussed here? So now there's this surge in support for opposing the only licensed tournament circuit in Smash. That could have huge implications because, again, we don't know if Nintendo intends to go after every unlicensed tournament out there or just ones that are affiliated with Smash World Tour.
The C&Ds are like not something that Nintendo wants to do. They have so much happening right now that's so good for them. This is like the last thing that Nintendo wants or needs.
The people's champ has the correct take. Let's hope that things can go back to the way that they were before. It's hard to imagine Nintendo sending a cease and desist to every unlicensed Smash tournament that happens. And again, we still don't know that that's what they intend to do. We're still waiting on information regarding Panda's view on this whole thing. So right now, the ball is in Nintendo's and Panda's court.